I want to talk about some of well, one in particular uh, of the what do they call them? The they're not posters, but they're getting people to vote at the moment in local elections, and you have this one in particular, a lady called Councillor Fiona Ryan, and she is running for solidarity. Um, but I want to draw attention to this one poster. This one poster talks that one of the kind of auspices that she's running under is the mental health crisis. And in the poster, it shows a side profile of a human head, and it has lots of different lots of different kind of issues, shall we say, in the form of wording inside in the head. Uh, so most of these are to the person, the unthinking person, the person who doesn't spend that much time thinking about this. It looks all very well, and it looks nice, and it looks like this is nice to be thinking about this stuff and all of this kind of thing. But really, what I want to do is I want to draw your attention to how these are straw men. Okay, so um, and it will it will appeal to the feminine mind more than the masculine, because it's it's talking about like being nice, so like some of the words there are things like sexism, homophobia, racism, you know, um, insecure work, and childcare, and education stress, anxiety, low pay, and housing. All right, so this makes no sense, because the thing about it is that Ireland never had racism ever until uh, until we had all of the current political parties, and I'm going to guess that Solidarity is also one of them, that is okay and on board with mass immigration and the free movement of peoples into Ireland. Um, and so you get, with that, you see, you get people who are coming into the EU and coming into Ireland from non-EU countries, who are, initially the immigration was from European countries. So, it was people who were, we say, ethnically and racially more like ourselves in Ireland, Irish native peoples. And now what you're getting is you're getting non-EU peoples coming into Ireland. People come from Brazil, from India, from Pakistan, from China, from Africa. Okay, so now it's visually you can tell that the people who are coming in are not the same as us. So you are going, like, the fact that we now have over 10,000 plus people, Irish people, homeless, and another 80,000 given eviction orders. Okay, the fact that this is happening, and these parties are still okay with mass immigration inwards into this country, will tell you that racism isn't really a thing, as far as I understand. I mean, I can't understand, or I don't know anybody who hates another person in this country because of the color of their skin. Traditionally, it wasn't here. It wasn't here, but it will grow as people resent these people coming in, as while at the same time these same parties are putting up posters like this saying that there's a problem with racism in our minds. It doesn't make any sense. But of course, it's all. I'll punch you with one hand while I caress your back with the other. So that's what they're doing here. They're putting up a straw man saying that you have. There's a growing mental health problem with something like racism, and racism really is just, an organism's desire to keep resources within a geographical location for that own ethnic group's interests, and that's as far as I can see what racism is, which is not racism really, because you're not hating another race or ethnic group because of their difference. It's that you can visually see that these people are not of your ethnic group, and they're coming into your location, geographic location of your people, competing for resources, jobs, houses, you see? And there, now we're on to the next word in the head, which is houses, housing. There were over 10,000 Irish people homeless, with another 80,000 set for eviction. And yet, there is the word housing as a problem. Yet these people will still be on board with globalism and mass migration into Ireland. Okay?
You also have the situation with mass migration, because mass migration brings in more people who need accommodation and need houses. And so as the numbers rise, so does the price of housing and accommodation, because supply and demand. This is only natural.
And so then you've also got anxiety at the top, which again is, wouldn't you be anxious if you knew that there were people taking your housing who weren't of your ethnic group, culture, past shared history, or culture, or religious belief, or whatever, So, anxiety is going to be on the increase as resources get smaller and smaller for larger and larger numbers of people. So, this is just what they call a straw man. A straw man is like the erection of a man. The idea being that it's like see that guy over there, he's your enemy. That's the problem. But then you walk closer to it and you see that the man is actually made out of straw. So somebody has actually given you a false enemy, So it's the same thing here with sexism. I don't see sexism around me at all. I don't see it anywhere. Men and women are different. They're pushing for the sameness now, like equity and inclusivity and diversity, which is cultural Marxism. And it's all that men and women are the same. There's no biological differences. It's all what would you call it? It's all environmental, when in fact it's actually not true. That is not the truth. The truth is that it's biological. Men and women are biologically different. Homophobia, there's another one there. People who are gay have never been so free in the history of Ireland, as far as I can tell. That they're not. It's not a time of casting. What would you say? Derogatory comments or anything like that towards people who are gay or lesbian. So again, I believe that's another straw man up on this poster. Education stress, really? What's that mean? What does education stress mean? That the kids in school are stressed out because they're being educated? Please define that. There is no definition there. What else do we have? Childcare. Yeah, well, again, that's down to culture and the pressures on culture and the eradication of culture and the erosion of culture by bringing in hundreds of thousands of people who don't share your culture, and you end up with advertising on TV, on billboards and ads, all pushing for people to have interracial marriages with people with different cultural backgrounds that they don't share similar ways of looking at the world or understanding the world or food types.
As mass migration occurs, what you're going to end up with is low wage work being decreased even further, so that the pay of low-wage workers becomes lower, because you will have people who are coming in for the first time into this country, desperate for work, and they will work for lower wages. So that drives down the lowest wage in this country. It drives it down to the minimum wage becomes much lower, and also there will be a lot of illegal pay to people who are illegal. So basically, it's just the business owners profiting off the backs of desperate people and people with dreams and hopes and all the rest of it coming into Ireland to start a better life. and business owners are just living in the moment, trying to make as much money as they can for themselves, which is just human nature. I'm not going to judge it too much. I mean, you know, with the belief in a God or religion, you can temper this, you know, and there is some social control of this through morality. But when that goes, what you're left with then is everyone for themselves, including business owners who are basically just going to, you know, use a slave labor workforce.
So that girl's name is Fiona Ryan, and she is running for solidarity. And I always get very creeped out whenever I see that word solidarity, because I know, let me just zoom in on this here. Yeah, whenever I hear of the word solidarity, I think of communism. Definitely avoid communism. Communism is a fantasy. It's an ideology. It doesn't work. Socialism is just communism in disguise. You know, doesn't believe in private property. Doesn't believe in the free market. Believes that the government has the right to own the means of production. That's socialism and communism. So you don't want to go there. Capitalism has its problems. Capitalism leads to great problems, like the problem we have right now. I think international capitalism doesn't work. I believe that national capitalism does work. However, I've rambled for quite a while on this now. I'm over 10 minutes, so I'm going to leave it at that. All I'm going to say to you is that those words in that human side profile head, they're strawmans, strawmans, whatever you want to say about it, makes no sense. Silliness. I wouldn't vote for that anyway. That's my opinion.